That last song was Richard's latest single, Days to Remember. He joins us now this morning. And actually, that song you wrote with your boys.
With all three of my sons, yeah.
How old are they now, Richard?
33, 31, and 30, and I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
He was so funny because he said to me, just you wait, you're going to have... Because I was like, mine are 8 and 6. And he's like, just you wait.
It goes by really fast, but now, like, we have this amazing friendship where the four of us hang out together like just buddies, and we go have drinks together and talk about life and relationships and everything.
But they're all musicians.
Yeah, three sons, not one doctor.
What did you do wrong?
I blame the parents. But it's different. They're not all sort of pop soul music though. One of them's sort of into heavy rock metal.
Yeah. So Jesse, my youngest, is a rock artist and songwriter and guitar player. Lucas, my middle, is more of like the pop R&B guy, and my eldest son Brandon is much more into like electronic music and even he's done a lot of hip-hop stuff, so they're all over the place.
So what's that like when you're all trying to write a song for Dad together?
Well, it really showed me because I'd written with each of them, but I'd never written with all of them. It was my 60th birthday present. They asked me what I wanted for my 60th birthday last September, and I said, I want us all to write a song together. And I think that they're just natural sensibilities and sense of craft of songwriting zeroed in on, oh, we got to write something for Dad. So it can't be too far this way, or it can't be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we wrote that whole song in an hour.
Really?
It was effortless, yeah.
And are any of them on the road with you? Because I know you're touring at the moment, so you've done Bath, Birmingham, Liverpool.
Yes, and tomorrow night, Albert Hall.
Do you like the Albert Hall?
Oh,
Played there before?
I shouldn't say it out loud, but it's my favorite place to play. It's just magical.
Yeah.
It's just magical, and it's been probably 10 years since I played there. And I can't wait. It's been sold out for like 4 months or something like that. I'm so... is it chuffed?
Yes, chuffed. Well done.
Chuffed.
And you brought Daisy, your wife, on tour as well, because she's like the person who goes, right, we've got to go here, we've got to do this.
She's our cruise director. She's our den mother. Yes, Daisy takes care of everything. And my son Lucas is landing just about now with his girlfriend to hang out. He wouldn't miss this show. My other two boys are busy working. But
you first performed, I think, at the Royal Albert Hall in '89.
Yeah.
And it was just after Eric Clapton had just finished a sold-out run.
Yes.
And
tough act to follow.
He's there now.
He's there now as well.
He's there tonight.
So you're following him again?
Yes. Isn't that weird? But I went to see the gig, and I went the night before I was to play the first time in '89. They invited me to Eric's show, and I sat there, and I'm a huge fan of Eric's.
Of course.
So I was trying to enjoy the concert, but I kept looking around, and my heart started to pound because I got really, really nervous about the next night. Now, all these years later, I just can't wait for tomorrow to happen.
Yeah, so eager.
I bet. But you know you have some, like, core classics that everybody just sings along. I mean, your song with Luther Vandross.
Yeah, Dance with My Father.
I love the story of how you two guys even met, talked, then your dad had an accident, a car accident, and then Luther phoned you up, and then later on you got together and made the single.
Yeah, we were friends for a long time. We'd written other songs that he'd recorded prior. And then quite a few years later, into our friendship, he called me and said, I got this idea, just a title, Dance with My Father, and I need to write it with you, because he knew the history of my relationship with my father and how Luther really helped me through the loss of my father. And Luther's dad had died when Luther was about 12, so he never really had a relationship with his dad. So we wrote this love letter to dads, you know, and 10 days after Luther recorded and mixed that song is when he had the stroke.
Wow.
And he lived to see us win the Grammy for Song of the Year, and he got to see the success of the song, but it breaks my heart even now to
There's
think
such serendipity about those moments, isn't there?
Yeah.
Right Here Waiting. Am I right in saying you actually originally thought this is a song for Barbra Streisand?
Sort of. She asked me to write her a song, and I was on this big tour, on my first tour, and I didn't really have time to write a song, but I knew it was a great opportunity. Yeah. And I had just written Right Here.
Go on to sell millions of copies, it's streamed hundreds of millions of times and gone, what a mistake.
We've been friends ever since. I mean, we hang out with her and her husband, Jim. And every once in a while, I hug her and I thank her for turning down my song, because it accidentally became the biggest song of my life.
Amazing.
It's just brilliant. Well, you're going to play for us today.
Yes.
Another one of your absolute classics, which we can't wait.
Can't wait. We've been singing it all morning, haven't we?
Sing along with me, it'll help. It's kind of early.
Oh, no,
if you want to head over, get yourself sorted.
Great.
Have a great gig tonight. Enjoy the rest of the time here in the UK. So just a reminder that Richard's new single, Days to Remember, that he wrote with all of his boys for his 60th birthday.
I can't believe he's 60 years old.
That's out right now.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
So Abby's with us now. Lovely to see you, Abby.
Good morning.
In a different role, you are Chief Inquisitor, sort of interrogator and questionnaire.
Yeah, it's actually weird being on my own. You know, I've been sitting on the couch next to Pete for a year, and now I'm on my own, and it's a completely different beast. It's so different interviewing someone because I'm not a journalist, I'm not an interviewer.
Yeah.
So just trying to have these conversations with incredible people.
But you are Scouse, so you do love a chat.
I love a chat. And that was the hardest thing when I was interviewing Pete. Not butting in.
Yeah.
Because that's when we do the therapy crouch together, we get so many messages, can you just please let Pete finish his story? So trying my best to keep my mouth shut, not interrupt, is hard.
So what is the idea behind Exhibit A?
So Exhibit A is if you want to better your life,
Yeah.
if you want to better yourself and learn and be inspired, then this is the podcast for you. I'm interviewing so many different people from all different walks of life, experts, doctors, A-list stars, celebrity chefs, you know, with incredible stories. And they're just really inspiring and interesting. And when I listen to a podcast, I want to learn something.
Yeah, sure.
So...
You don't have enough time in the day, Mesa.
No.
I mean, what did you say? You've got 4 kids, 2 dogs, 2 cats, 1 horse.
Yeah. And a husband.
And a husband.
A husband.
The worst one.
He
to
keeps
look
you very
after.
busy. You had the amazing Mo Gaudat on your podcast, didn't you? Who we had here.
Unstressable.
Unstressable was his new book.
Yeah.
What did you learn from Mo? Because he's an extraordinary character.
Oh, he's incredible. I am the most stressed out person on earth. I worry about everything, I catastrophise. And I felt from him, I learnt so many small things you can change in your day-to-day life that will help. And it sounds cheesy, but they definitely do work.
And have you employed some of his techniques, Abby, to sort of...
100%, yeah. You know, if you have a negative thought, quickly change that to a positive one. You know, wake up. And
So how do you do that? Is there sort of a mechanism or a way of... Because you can dwell on... I mean, if you're a catastrophiser, you can dwell on negative thoughts and then they can spiral.
Well, I'm always spiralling. Like, I think, you know, when I did the Mo and Alice's stress test, it was like 96% stressed out, and he couldn't believe it. But I'm just a worrier. But I think it takes time and practice to change. You know, I'm nearly 40 years old, and I've been like this my whole life. So to kind of change that thought process into thinking more positively, and so I am a positive person, but I just worry.
You know what, though? I think that you always put out exactly what you are, and I think that's why people love the podcast that you do with Pete as well. It feels so honest and so authentic and real. It feels as though there's no filter at all.
Well, there isn't really. Because my cousin and my brother produce it, we're like in our living room. You know, it's not like you're being interviewed by a journalist, so all of us, instantly your guard's down. So, you know, we just say everything and anything. But, you know, people seem to like it and we enjoy it.
Do you ever get messages from your parents saying, I think that was a bit too much to share? Has anybody...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do you? Do you?
Yeah, we're often in the paper with mad headlines and we're like, why did we say that? We've divulged too much, but it's all fun.
When we knew you were coming in, we asked our viewers if they had any questions, and we had this question in from one of our viewers who was keen for you to answer this one.
Oh.
Hi, yes, my name's Peter. I have a question for Abigail. She talks about the new show, Exhibit A, and enriching her life with some incredible guests that she meets. Does she not feel enriched on the therapy couch with her husband, Peter?
First of all, I want to know why Pete's got braces on. What was he wearing?
It was a parachute.
A parachute?
He's got a backpack on going somewhere, surely. I imagine it's his rucksack.
Backpack?
Well, he's nicked it from somewhere. It looked like he was on a train station. Is he on a platform going somewhere else?
He must be.
It's a backpack. He's got a rucksack on.
Backpack.
Is he going to the gym?
It's like Bear Grylls.
Yes, because you've said this is all about enriching and fulfilling people's lives with a new podcast. And as Pete points out, what's not enriching and fulfilling about your podcast with him?
Well, I've been...
She's digging a hole here.
I'm trying to think of the right way to answer this. You know, the therapy couch is light-hearted, it's fun. You know, we don't take ourselves too seriously, but I just want to learn more.
Yeah.
And
And your husband's not helping you?
No, but although he is very clever, but it's normally on topics that I'm not interested in.
But I did like how you interviewed him on Exhibit A as well. And there was really lovely moments that actually you don't think of in a footballer's career. And it's that real moment where they have to choose between living a normal teenage life and going out and really committing to something that they don't know is going to happen or not. And he kind of credits it all to that teacher, Mr. Waring, that he had this amazing, amazing teacher. I just think you don't see that side of him normally.
No. I think Peter is he's very focused and he's very determined and, you know, he went through a lot growing up with the, you know, like kind of the abuse that he got and he still managed to represent the country and play for the best clubs in the world. So I think that's a real testament to his character. But I think, you know, having an inspirational teacher can make so much
The film that was made, I think it's on Amazon, isn't it, about him, is extraordinary for looking at that. Do you ever give him credit for what he's achieved, though, internationally as a footballer at home, though, Abby?
Not really.
No.
I know that's bad. But, you know, when he filmed the documentary, some of the things I found out that was the first time I'd even heard about them. Amazing. And I was so angry how people can write the most horrific things.
And it really was, wasn't it?
Horrific. And you think just because you're in the public eye, you should be able to take that. And, you know, he's human at the end of the day and it was awful and I just wanted to kill the people.
Yeah, you do. You get upset.
Very
I was so protective.
Quick question about him. Is he ever sexier than when he's taking the bins out for you, though?
I think this is like a kind of reverse psychology.
Do you?
Yeah, honey, take the bins out and, you know...
You'll look great.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So perhaps not as sexy as it's been... It's the sexiest chore, by all accounts.
Apparently so. So the podcast is out every Monday.
It's out every Monday.
And you're doing Liz Hurley, she's coming on?
Yeah, got Elizabeth Hurley out today and she is incredible.
Powerhouse.
She's so hot, powerhouse, icon, and we had a great chat.
Sounds like you're loving it, Abby.
I'm loving it, it's great fun.
Good luck with it.
Thanks,
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
It's an absolute joy to watch this show. Can't recommend enough. Rylan, Rob, lovely to see you both this morning.
Lovely to be back.
Thank you. It's just such a wonderful thing to look at the two of you from such different backgrounds with such different experiences, but bonded by this experience in Italy, Rylan. When they first suggested it, who suggested it first? Did it come from Rob to Rylan, Rylan to Rob?
Really, it was the same time. I mean, they had us in mind for something, and the first thing I said before I'd even spoken to Rob was, we're not going to be another two celebrities doing a travel log in Italy. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, everyone's doing one. But when the show was described and they were like, oh, it's been commissioned by BBC Arts, I was like... I'm sorry?
Linda was ever so proud.
My mum was like, quick, get the hat for the MBE ready. And, yeah, when me and Rob had a discussion about it, I was actually in Greece at the time filming another show, so it was all a bit slapdash for me. But we met in Venice and it just turned into... Well, we can't believe the reaction to the show because it's not a travel log. It's not what it is. It's almost like a reality show documentary. It's everything. We're so lucky.
It is. And I think what you've done brilliantly is you've made it educational, but no one feels as though they're being educated.
Yeah, it's no finger wagging.
No,
that was the mission of the programme, really, when they came to me with Ryan. It was a no-brainer. You know, I can't remember, but someone once described me as a stupid person's version of what an intelligent person sounds like. And I think that makes sense. And we have
Is that one of your relatives?
Yeah, probably. But you know what I mean? Like, sometimes sort of branded on the tongue and things around, you know, high art and culture.
Yes.
You know, we have the sort of soft bigotry of low expectation of certain people. When, you know, the thing is, nowadays, more than ever, it's important that everybody feels that great art, all music is for everybody. It's something we can all share. And this is a programme about reminding everyone, whoever you are, there are no lanes. Get out of them. You grab back the pen of the story the world's written for you and write your own novel. Everything is for you. And the best way of showing that is by having Rylan at every single encounter with this great work being the piercingly most clever, that's not English, but it should be, the most piercingly clever person in the room. And he made me proud every single time.
Well, he made you emotional. This is the thing. I mean, literally, every time he turned around and said something about the art, you broke down in tears.
Not every time.
More or less.
There's something, there's something so joyful. You know, I teach it to students and have been, you know, a mentor over the years. And he, of course, mentored...
Like he
mentored me as well. So it's one thing to intellectually understand the art, but you have to be able to experience it too. And that was the purpose of why people went on the Grand Tour in the first place, to get out of a world that was sort of containing them and experience it. But when you see somebody not just learning it, but not just learn it, but delight in it.
Feeling it. You
and
felt
then
it.
teach you something about it. So I think we've discussed this before. The first time I ever saw you speak about this great painting, you know, the Botticelli.
Oh, yeah.
Right, the Venus de Milo, was when I watched the programme back, and that's when I was most emotional. Because what
It's the first time we did something separate on the show, yeah.
And what he saw and what he taught us was so beautiful.
But
that
the
look
whole...
is why people think there's something going on, because I'm seeing some... I mean, there's a lot of adoration.
We are expecting.
Yeah. It's not fake tan, he really is that radiant.
No, but it was also, though, you have this absolutely beautiful moment together where you're just sitting and you're by the canal and you are so open and honest. And that's actually quite a brave thing to do on TV. And so you've got the narrative that runs through the story, which is, of course, Venice and Rome. But the really special thing is watching the two of you.
Yeah, like, for us, we didn't realise what we were making when we were making it. Right. And we got to shout out the entire team, all the editors, all the team that were on the ground with us, everyone, because they actually made... It was like a family, and I know that sounds really TV, but it really, really was. Like, without them, this would never have happened. And watching it back, then the narrative, the arc throughout the 3 episodes, even something as stupid as in Venice, we were in separate accommodations. In Florence, we were in the same accommodation in different rooms. And by Rome, you know, I'm waking up with him underneath me, like, get off of me, barrister. But that's the narrative of the arc. Like, we started this process as mates, and we have finished it as actual, genuine friends. Yeah. And that's what's been probably the best thing to come out.
It comes across.
Wonderful moments in Venice. And I think the thing that Rylan's teaching you as well, Rob, because you've got all the culture and the high experience and the academia of the art and the music and all those sort of things. Rylan's got the experience of life and understanding the sort of the mask that he carries around with him. And when the two of you are dressed with that group of drag artists wandering around Venice, was one of the most joyous and hilarious and wonderful moments.
Yeah, you really understood it, and thank you for that. And so many people have, and I think it's a real gift when there's been such a kind of broad response of people that really see it. You know, I think sometimes we think, you know, we talk down to viewers, but they're all brilliant, and it's time to talk the British public up. They get it. And we could have done a masked ball that people do when they go to Venice.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a bit like the Monaco Grand Prix, lots of privilege, but really exploring
we didn't want to do that.
with you with such profound authenticity. You know, why did they wear masks? It's because behind a mask you get to be a different person. It's what they did, you know, in the 18th century. But why do we put on makeup? How does that, and why does that make you feel safer? Why does that change the way in which you can be in the world? What does it mean? And to do that alongside him, and I never, ever would have put on drag without wearing that mask. It enabled me to be freer. Although, what did you say I looked like?
Pauline Fowler. It was giving Wendy Richard.
May she rest in peace.
But then you did keep in the bit where someone shouted, like, derogatory.
Yeah.
But then there was, like, 90-year-old nonnas that all stood up and applauded you.
That was amazing. But worth reflecting on, you know?
Yeah, really, really was.
Brilliant.
That collective, they'd never been out in Venice dressed up. They're called the House of Serenissima. So lovely for them to open their doors to us. And for the first time, they'd been together a year, they said, we're going out in public, and they did. And we had a guy shout out something really homophobic and derogatory.
A young guy.
I was held back by production.
He was
the
ready
Stepney Green nearly come out in 7 Foot Heels as well.
I would have defended him and been a good witness.
I would have been in court, but I got the best in the land. And then, as we walk along, there's like this group of like 90-year-old nonnas, and they all stood up and clapped us. And I'm like, that's what this experience is about. You know, what we're sometimes frightened of. We always think it might be the older generation looking down. It wasn't for them. It was actually the opposite. So, there's still a lot of movement to be done in Italy.
Yeah, they stood round us like a Praetorian Guard, and that's another lesson. You know, don't judge somebody until you get the opportunity and the gift of meeting them.
We could talk to you for hours.
It's sensational.
I can't recommend it enough.
It's on BBC
I think it's all available.
iPlayer.
Yeah, it's on the iPlayer.
Yes, all available on iPlayer
Sunday
now.
night.
Episode 2, Sunday on BBC 2.
9 o'clock.
People know you're, like, really this nice in real life. No. Do they...
No.
Do they think...
No, it's all a lie.
Tell the full evil. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning. And to celebrate Strictly's 20th anniversary, we're joined now by 4 people who've had a lot to thank for the show.
First up, professional dancer Brendan Cole, whose life was never the same after winning Series 1. Morning, Brendan.
Morning. Rachel Riley's also here, who would never have met her husband, Pasha, or welcomed their 2 beautiful children if she hadn't signed up for Strictly.
And last, but by no means least, the high-kicking, highfalutin Debbie McGee, who says her part in the show helped her smile again after the tragic loss of her husband, Paul. Hello, everybody. Lovely to have you all here.
Nice to see you.
Fantastic. Brendan, 20 years ago to this day.
Quite something.
We had a little look at that opening of all of you lined up. Yes. Do you remember that feeling that day?
I actually do, yeah. I don't remember many things, but that day was really special. It was exciting, nervous. Nobody knew really how the show was going to be perceived or actually if it was going to take it all. We'd had, obviously, Strictly Ballroom for... not Strictly Ballroom, Come Dancing for so many years. I think it's the longest-running TV show ever. So they knew there was going to be something exciting there, but nobody knew if it was going to work with celebrities and pros.
It was so good. And we just saw there the legend, Bruce Forsyth.
He's amazing.
You must have some great memories from them.
I do. He was incredible off the stage, more so than he was actually on the stage. His wit, so fast and so brilliant. He was lovely to everybody, unless he was slightly angry, and then he was horrible to everybody.
OK.
He was very temperamental, but what I loved is that always production, they would always say, Bruce is on set, and we'd all sort of...
Everybody knew.
All right, OK, calm yourselves down. And I loved that he had that respect, he commanded that respect, but he earned it over so many years. Amazing.
Rachel, what did you think when you heard about... Because I can remember hearing about Strictly Come Dancing, thinking, what, it's a ballroom dancing talent show on Saturday night? Really?
Yeah.
People going to be watching... Did you watch the first few? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I remember my mum and my Zayda, her dad, they were hooked from the first show because it's, you know, part of that generation before that used to go to tea parties. And I think he probably met my mum's mum, you know, through dancing. So relationships have formed over the years, and it's just that nostalgic, wholesome...
Is that what happened to you? You just
I was just about to say, talking of relationships...
party that went wrong.
It's more fun.
Yeah. And what about you, Debbie, though? Because, I mean, I genuinely, and hold my hands up and say, I never saw it working. From my perspective, but I love it now. I can watch it. I can see the journeys that the celebrities that you all go on. Do you remember thinking 20 years ago? I mean, what Strictly could have been? Were you in straight away?
Yeah, I was in absolutely from the first one. I loved it myself, but I wasn't sure the general public would like it, you know, because dancing is quite a woman thing. So I think it was a surprise to everybody.
Surprise to all of us.
It was that crossover, wasn't it? It was a crossover from what you said, the success of Come Dancing as a TV show and the history we have of ballroom dancing in this country, but into this world that made it suddenly much more relevant to lots of younger people as well.
More so than that, the show has so many elements. It has relationships, it has the competition element, it has the judges who are, I mean, vile at times. And then if you take Len, for example, he was the ultimate Strictly judge. He knew exactly how to pitch it. He was either on your side and rooting for you, even if you were rubbish, or he could see you getting... or you could see you getting too big for your boots, and he'd absolutely bring you down to earth. And that was the beauty of him, and he did it with always a smile and charm. And even if he was a bit aggressive on the show, he'd come up afterwards and give you a handshake and go...
But you knew he'd got a great heart. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. You always knew where he was coming from. And Pasha, I mean, what we can't not talk about is the talent of the professionals on the show. I mean, like, it's so... Brendan, obviously. But of course, it's that thing where... So Pasha and I know each other from the dance show that I host in America.
In the States?
Yeah. So
did you do that before you came on to...
Yes.
Oh, really?
It kind of started my TV career in America and Broadway, and then... dancing.
But it was crazy because when Pasha came, he was dancing with another ballroom girl called Anya, and Pasha wasn't even going to audition for the show. And we one of our producers,
this is you there.
Jeff
I think this is you on
Dacker,
stage.
Hello. I was blackmailed into joining the show. And
so really, they sort of twisted your arm to join?
Yeah, so if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here sitting on this couch.
But what do you think it is about ballroom dancing that everybody just fell in love with and embraced?
I think it's just a classy thing.
Right.
And especially here in UK, people love classy things. And it's something very positive. Man-woman relationships, You dance together. It's great exercise. It's a great social thing. And I think overall, when it mixed with professional dancing and a little bit of celebrity gossip, it creates the amazing
Also, the costumes. Look at those costumes and the makeup and
and that's what I was going to say, Rachel, is when I was a kid, Saturday nights there were big shows with loads of dancers and things, and then there was a long time without anything, and then Strictly came with all the glamour and costumes and all the other elements that kind of put it together. And I think one of the things that makes Strictly very special, as a performer, you know your audience are animals. So if you're happy,
depends what you're doing.
Ben, we've known each other too long. But sorry about that. I'm going to make myself blush. Anyway, but you know that if you're happy and having a good time, your audience has a good time. And on Strictly, everybody is for you. They're all friendly. I mean, Brendan and Pasha, when I was on it, when I finished dancing, you always came up, gave me a hug and said, well done.
Camaraderie.
Even though it's the camaraderie is incredible. And I think that comes over to the audience. And these guys, the pros, I think what a lot of people don't consider is the reason they got the job is because they're the best. And they have won competitions, been on Broadway, big shows in America. We don't... But they take a back seat on Strictly and let their celebrity, who can't do it, be the star. And I think that's why Strictly are very clever at choosing who the pros are, because they're really, really special people.
Yeah,
they're not just talented.
They're not that bad.
They're unselfish.
Stop it.
You are.
Rach, didn't you end up doing Strictly because Brendan came on Countdown?
Brendan is the reason that I have children.
That's right. That is what I've learned from me.
What's going on?
And Rachel
Brendan came on Countdown and then said, would you want to do Strictly? And I was like, yeah, of course. And you mentioned it to the production and then, you know, here we are.
And it's just explained, because it's around about now that people are being tapped up for the new series. What's that period like when you get asked and then there's a secrecy before it starts? How do you cope with all of that? And then when it actually starts as well? Because lots of my colleagues next door at GMB have done it. And I've lived that with them, and it's one of the most distressing and intense experiences, just knowing what they're going through.
Well, you get a code name as well, so they gave it with the first letter of your name. So mine was Miss Russia. So that was my code name.
To be, wasn't it?
I didn't tell my mum until like right before I was going on, because I knew she was going to tell everybody. But it's just exciting and terrifying at the same time. And I think, you know, some celebs go out there and they get some sneaky lessons in. I wasn't that clever. I should have done that.
You didn't have time.
I didn't have time. I did like a little trial dance with James Jordan. And then they decided, all right, you can be the joke act, you can come on. And you're kind of working out, you know, you're going to be that one, or you're going to be the comedy one, or you're going to be the one with the journey. And you just don't know until you get there. And you're, you know, on a Sunday you've got this brand new dance, and on a Saturday you're dancing this thing in front of 10 million people. There's just nothing else like it in life.
For most people that do the show, 90% of the contestants that come on the show, it is life-changing, it's life-altering.
It was for me.
The experience is so intense and can be so beautiful. It can be the opposite as well, but for the most part, it's a thing that changes your life, and you'll talk about it forever, as I'm sure you guys do.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, we talked about the glamour, we talked about the talent, we talked about the comedy, but actually, Debbie, it can be life-changing right at a moment where you need it as well.
Totally life-changing for me.
For you, it was
the year after Paul had died. And so I was so immersed in it as well, and having such a wonderful time. But I got out of it things I wasn't expecting, apart from making friends with people that whenever we get together, it's like you've never been apart. But it created my Debbie McGee brand, because I've been part of a double act for, you know, 38 years. And everybody, although they knew me, I was still Paul's assistant. And suddenly, Strictly gave me a brand, which has made my life happier and helped me get over my grief and become me, and gave me a confidence I didn't have before, because people treat me differently. Because they could see, actually, there's a bit more to her than standing, you know, watching Paul do a trick or going in a box.
But you also now have this infrastructure as well that you know is almost a little bit like a family.
Oh,
that we're always
absolutely.
I think one of the things as well, Brendan, is every season there's so many rumours about what's happening between the dancers and their partners. Sometimes it pays off and it's a wonderful love story, of course, and there's families that come out of it, but often there's a lot of intrigue and there's all that sort of stuff, and people talk about the curse. Why are we so intrigued by that part of it as viewers as well?
Because human relations, we love to know what's going on next door. You know, if you hear a bit of gossip or a bit of an argument next door, you want, oh, what's the argument about? That's exciting. Or likewise, if there's a little bit of a romance blooming, it's amazing to be in the thick of that concept as it's happening, it's unfolding on screen and in the papers and on the morning television shows. I think that's the beauty of it. You're seeing two people creating something. It could be horrible, it could be beautiful, and I think that's the magic that's kept people hooked on Strictly, as well as the beautiful frocks and the glamour.
And why does it happen? Because we even had it on the show in America. It's like, it's this thing.
What, you and Pasha?
No, I wish. I wish I'd never.
Between a couple of the dancers.
But you always, it's this
Can you answer that, Mate?
strange
For
thing.
me, with Pasha, it was the first time I kind of relinquished any control. So I'm kind of used to just like being the woman and in control of things. And it was the first time he's the boss and you just have to listen to him. And you obviously get to know someone on a far closer level than you would otherwise, because, I mean, I was living in Essex, I was filming in Manchester and Birmingham, so you were literally following me around the country, and we were getting, you know, 3 hours dancing here and then travelling through the night and then 3 hours sleep here. So it's kind of it's a strange bonding experience that you just wouldn't get in real life. It's just it's an artificial reliance.
But
really.
you rely on each other so heavily. For everything, because it's not just about doing steps, it's not just about a bit of practice, it's the emotional stuff, it's getting ready for the show. You're about to go live to however many million people, and you've got one chance to make it. Then you've got the slamming of the judges or the adoration of the judges. There are so many aspects to the show that just make it so intense for you as a couple. You rely on each other.
And that's why we love it so
We've loved
much,
it for 20
isn't it?
years,
That's
and
why
undoubtedly
we'll
will do further.
continue to.
And you're up for this year as well, which is really exciting. Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Hi, welcome back to your Wednesdays this morning with me, Richard Maiden, and Kat Deeley here.
Yeah.
I've got a lot more coming up for you on the programme today. How's your morning been so far?
It's going pretty well, actually.
Well, you know, Ben, you weren't here.
Maidley, go on. Other side of the sofa.
Don't spend so long in the loo, then.
Nick the job over there.
Look, it's
Come
all
and nick this
warm.
job as well.
You've got a Maidley warm-up.
Isn't it amazing, though, that music?
Yeah.
The original titles.
It's the trigger.
The original, even for us, as sort of being at home and being able to watch it, if you had the day... We were saying the other day, if you have a day off from school now, there's so much going on, there's so much to do, actually, it's quite good fun. Back then, the only thing you could do if you had a day off school was watch This Morning.
And students. I mean, students, you know, sort of recovering from the night before.
Yes.
There were no laptops, there were no iPhones, so they watched This Morning. We had huge student viewership. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And the titles, sorry, Kat, we're just looking at those titles there. And you had the titles of you and Judy with the kids as babies. Look there.
Chloe, that's Chloe.
Is it Chloe?
That's little Chloe.
Yeah.
So there's you with Chloe. This was 35 years ago.
1988.
There's you with Chloe now.
God.
You
And in
don't
fact,
look
that's not
any
even
different.
now. That's
My
a few
God.
years back as
Look at
well.
Oh.
You don't look any different, Richard.
come on, of
No,
course I
you
do.
don't. It was your birthday, actually, on Monday, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, but we don't talk about it.
No, we don't. We're just not going to talk about it at all.
The lovely thing, though, of you holding Chloe is, of course, Chloe's got little Bodie now as well,
Absolutely,
who's
yeah.
probably a little bit older than Chloe was then.
I think Chloe's about 5-6 months there. Bodie's about 20 months now.
Yeah.
And she's gorgeous.
There's Bodie.
Do you look, that was taken yesterday. They're in Dubai. And I just thought, she looks like she's about to read the news.
She does, she really does.
I'm coming up on tonight, so...
It is. It's in the family. That's what it is.
But we're going to talk about Father's Day.
Oh, right.
This is your brand new book. It's out on the 23rd of May.
Yep.
I started it last night, and you know I'm not a great sleeper.
She's not a great sleeper.
As it goes.
It put you to sleep.
No.
It did the opposite.
The opposite.
Oh, good.
Within the first 20 pages, there is, like, crucifixion and murder, a fisher, like a catfisher online.
Yeah.
There is a terrible accident.
Yeah.
And I was
it starts at 100
Maidley, I
miles
am
an hour,
putting this
Yeah.
down, and it's tell me what happens in
I'll
the rest
try
of
and
the book.
summarise it in a minute. It's a revenge thriller.
Okay.
And at the heart of it is a troll. This is a guy who's in his mid-40s. He's a horrible, horrible man. And he has become very skilled at catfishing teenage girls. He goes into teen chat rooms and he impersonates online 15, 16-year-old girl. He calls himself Rosie, and he's very convincing.
Very.
And he does it for all sorts of weird, pervy reasons. He gets them to talk about things that we can't talk about here.
Yeah.
But his real thing is to try and get girls... He finds a vulnerable one, and he focuses in on them and develops what appears to be a wonderful friendship from one teenage girl to the other. But actually, what he wants them to do is to self-harm, and if possible, take their own life. And the book opens with his death. It's a revenge killing. We find him crucified.
Yeah. Oh, it's him.
It's him.
Right.
It's not a plot spoiler.
No.
We find him crucified upside down in a real place, actually. I think we've got a picture of it. It's a Roman amphitheatre near Cirencester. And it's happened in the middle of the night, and the police find this appalling scene, and we're off. And basically...
And that's it, is it? That's where he's found.
And the man who's done it, and again, all this is made clear quite early on in the book, is the girl's father. This girl has killed herself, and nobody knows why. She's had this secret relationship with this troll on a secret laptop that no one knows exists. And 2 years after she takes her own life in her bedroom, he finds the secret laptop. And he manages to hack into it, and he works out what happened. And then he tracks the guy down, and he kills him. So the story's told in flashback and flash forward as we go through. And the two central questions, really, that I want the reader to get involved in is, one, do we want the father to be caught and punished? Does he deserve it for doing something so heinous? He's crucified a man who's died in agony. Or do we think it was kind of justified?
Yeah.
And what do we think about the guy who's been murdered? Are we glad? We're actually glad that he died that way?
It's just terrifying, because to me, that whole technological world anyway, with young children, it's terrifying. It could be a great movie, though, too.
A couple of people have said that. I didn't write it with that in mind, but I suppose I suppose it's quite visual. Yeah.
As I was coming in today, I walked past Susanna and I said, "Oh, Richard's coming in," and she said, "This book she picked up and read in 3 days."
I know.
Because that's the thing, you've written a page turner, Rich, which I would imagine, you know, when you're sitting down writing it, you want that to be the case. As Kat was saying, it was so involved at the start.
It's very much like the discipline of doing this programme or doing GMB. You want people to stay over the break.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you tease things, you know, you sort of chin things up a little bit. And yeah, that's what I've tried to do. With each chapter, I've tried to leave it with people thinking, oh, my God, what now? What's going to happen here? And, of course, the father who kills this monster, he's a very intelligent man. He's a very nice man, actually. He's a very decent guy. But the power of revenge, what would a father do? What would you do if it was your daughter who'd been cajoled into killing herself, taking her own life? What would you do if you found the man responsible?
So you come across as such a lovely, affable, easy-go-lucky guy, but there's a dark, sinister side to the Maidley, isn't there? There's the journalist in you. Because, of course, you will have covered stories like this endlessly over the years.
I've never covered a crucifixion.
But catfishing and people online being bullied or being, you know, tragically taking their own
It's very
lives.
current, isn't it?
Yes.
Very, very current.
Yeah.
What do the kids make of it? Do they read your books?
Only when they've actually been published. I don't like them having an advanced read. Judy hasn't read it yet either.
Has she not?
No, I like to keep it real. I don't want too much input. I mean, when you're writing, you need to be on your own, really, and you don't want too much influence. So if I was giving them chapters and said, what do you think of this? I think it might put me off my stride, you know? So they'll look at it in the next week or two, I hope.
So your first book, Someday I'll Find You, it took you a long time to write that one?
Yeah.
A couple of years,
2 or 3 years, yeah.
How long did it take you to do this one? Was it...
From start to finish, I must admit, my publisher was very patient. I missed deadline after deadline after deadline.
Because you were doing next door?
Because of GMB. I thought I could do the show in the
show.
morning and write in the afternoon, but you know what it's like. It's like you got jet lag. So it took me a long time, it took about 5 years. But I finally finished it about 4 or 5 months ago, and there it is, it's in print.
Amazing. We loved it. Last time you came and joined us was when we were celebrating 10 years of Good Morning Britain, and we had a lovely little chat about some of the things that you did with Judy, of course, the Viagra episode and how what emerged from that.
What came up?
Yeah. What we were talking about was some of those other things that happened when you were on the sofa here this morning. And I'd forgotten about when you had Hercules the bear.
Oh, my God. Who? Jeez.
So you had a live bear that you were told you could feed.
Yeah.
What's the scar?
And he went for me. I mean, it's a grizzly bear. We must have been mad.
Why were they... I don't think you could do that now.
No, so much of what we used to do on This Morning, like the live Viagra test, for example, you just wouldn't do today. You couldn't do it today. You'd have Ofcom down your neck, you know. But no, a live grizzly bear in studio?
Close, yes.
That close?
Without any restraints.
Insane.
And were you only given a year to make the show work?
Yes. When we launched it in '88, it was, when was it? October the 3rd, 1988. And there was a lot of jealousy in the other companies in ITV who pitched for the show and hadn't got it, and Granada had got it, we'd got it. And so there was a kind of consensus that it would be off the air by Christmas, never mind a year. But ITV gave it 1 year because it was, I mean, you know, in '88, there wasn't television like this.
No.
We went to America. We looked at American daytime shows, which had been running for about 20 years. We took a lot of our kind of inspiration from them. We piloted it, and then we went on air. And we were confident that we had a format that would last. And look at it, you know, it's still going.
It is still going. And I didn't realise, Richard, that actually you're...
that was Trading Places Day.
I thought the book was frightening. I really want to be able to sleep at
The funny
night.
thing for me is, I know your son Jack very well. I just keep seeing Jack when you do moments like that.
Do you?
Yeah, I really do. It's lovely.
Quite alike.
But your TV accent is actually a persona. You're actually a bit more Estral, a bit more like me. You're an Essex
Well,
boy
basically, I was born in Romford, Essex, right? And I'm not putting this on. I'm slipping into this. Like, if I spoke French, I could speak French, right? So this is how I spoke.
That's your natural.
That's my natural speaking voice, yeah. But my dad was a public school boy, and he hated dropped H's, and he hated the East London Essex accent. So at home, I spoke like this. And then when if I spoke like this at school, I get beaten up.
Yeah.
So at school, I naturally spoke like that. And then I was on the East London Advertiser, which was like the big East End newspaper, just after the craze had gone out of business. Yeah. Obviously, I had to talk like that there, otherwise I'd get beaten up again. So yeah, that estuary English is my natural. Yeah.
So I find my wife always says to me, whenever I'm home or I've gone to watch West Ham and I'm hanging out with my schoolmates,
does it come out?
or I'm talking to a cab driver, usually my accent drops a little bit as well.
Does it?
Oh, for heaven's sake, can you stop pretending not to be actually who you are?
Have you noticed? Maybe you're not old enough, but when I look at recordings of me talking on television and some early radio recordings when I started in local radio in the 1970s, and I spoke very much like that.
It's even more.
Oh yes, it was even more. Yes, it was very BBC. Yes,
that was how it used to be.
Terribly good.
No, I'm not that old. That's the problem.
I know you're not.
Lovely to see you. Thank you for dropping in.
Thank you for
Father's Day
talking about the
out
book.
23rd May.
Yes.
There you go.
Brilliant
Very
stuff.
much.
Thank you.
Prepare yourselves, though. It's a page turner and there's a lot that goes on.
Terrifying.
Thank you very much.
Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning. You can't stop them talking. They're sitting down. Mike Love and Bruce Johnson are here. It's lovely to see you both. Thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's fantastic for
Good
you
morning.
to have us.
Well, both Kat and I have enjoyed this documentary, this extraordinary documentary about the history of the Beach Boys. There was so much in there that I didn't know. Like, we all across your music, we all loved your music, but the history of the band is the ups and downs, and there's been a fair few downs along the way, Mike, that I think is so compelling to watch.
Yes, it's really revealing of the dynamics and everything that went on, good and bad, with the Beach Boys. And Disney has done a phenomenal job. Disney Plus is going to air it, and it's just it's so wonderful because we have a Genesis book and a Disney documentary, and so we've never been as happy or as thankful for all the attention that our lifetime of music is.
We've got it all going on still. We're so blessed.
Yeah. It's the longevity of the band. Like, my boys are 6 and 8, and they sit in the back of the car singing Beach Boys. Like, to be able to span that many generations. And I think more than anything else, what your music does brilliantly is just celebrates the joy of life. It grabs it by the horns.
There's a psychologist in Sheffield, England, that tested with 2,500 people from this perspective of which songs make people feel the best. And Good Vibrations came in at #1. And there's a Bob Marley in there, and there's a Pink in there, and there's Earth, Wind and Fire had September. #1 and #8 was I Get Around.
Not bad stablemates.
Not bad.
Not bad stablemates.
There's a lovely bit in the documentary where you're talking about the writing of Good Vibrations as well, and how you wrote the lyrics to Good Vibrations, essentially in the car on the way to record the song.
While driving an XKE to the studio.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I dictated it to my then wife, Suzanne, who's mother of Christian, who sings with us now, and my daughter Haley, and she has better writing than me anyway. So I said,
you can't right-hand drive as well, though, by the way.
I love the colorful clothes she wears, etc. And got the studio, handed it to Brian. He liked it. He handed it to Carl, who sang the lead, and I came in with I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. Yep.
It's just magical.
It is. And Bruce, I mean, you're a happy accident almost when you joined the band.
Now, wait a second. We're not talking about his childbirth.
When I joined the band, Glenn Campbell was filling in for Brian. He wasn't available because he was becoming Glenn Campbell. So we needed someone else to fill in, I guess, for Brian. Mike called me. So who do you know? I called 12 people. I said, time's running out. Why don't I just show up April 9th, 1965. Why don't I just show up in New Orleans and I'll do a couple shows?
And he was to play the bass, but he never played the bass. He's a keyboard player.
So you had to learn how to play the bass?
Well, Carl asked me if I played bass. I said, oh, yeah, of course. No, I didn't play bass. But I'm no fool all the time.
And wasn't there a whole thing where they said, how much do you want? And you said 300.
No, I wanted $250. And so I got a check for $3,000. I thought, I think I need this job instead of working at Columbia
Because they paid you $250 every day. You were like $250.
I thought it was for the whole thing.
Amazing.
You know, I was barely 21 years old, so I thought it was pretty cool.
And there's watching the evolution of the band as well, though, Mike, from where it starts to the family and Bruce joining and where it goes to, and this extraordinary battle that there was that I wasn't aware of, and watching the documentary was gripping, between you and the Beatles. I didn't realise there was this sort of raging thing about who was the biggest band in the world, but when you got to the UK, all the fans over here voted you guys number one.
Yeah, these guys were.
New Musical Express did that.
NME Award.
On the strengths of Good Vibrations going to number one in 1966. So, but there's been nobody more successful than the Beatles.
Of course.
The McCartney and crew, you know. But the most interesting thing for me was to be in India with Marishi's, invitation.
Yeah.
And all the Beatles were there. And
so you were there together?
Wow.
Yes. George Harrison and I had our birthdays in India in spring of '68.
Wow.
Yeah, we're both Pisces.
So,
wow.
Because
I bet that was relaxing.
It was amazing. We were meditating for hours at a time. They were doing a lot of music.
Yeah.
You know, back in the USSR, Paul came to the breakfast table saying, "Listen to this, Mike. Playing from Miami Beach," you know.
Wow.
And yeah, it was a fascinating time.
And Bruce, you played the Beatles' Pet Sounds.
Here's what happened.
Is that right?
I came to England for a week of promotion. Pet Sounds was released in America, but it wasn't released yet. But Sloop John B was released, was climbing the charts. So I brought a copy over, and I wound up playing it in my suite for the Beatles twice.
Right?
You know, and so the feedback I got
Keith
was,
Moon introduced him to us.
I see.
Well, the feedback that I got was that McCartney just took the vibe and the sweetness of Wouldn't It Be Nice and some of the harmony, and created Here, There, and Everywhere for the Revolver album because of Pet Sounds. But the more important thing is that there probably wouldn't be Pet Sounds in terms of spreading all around the world if Lennon and McCartney hadn't, you know, praised it so much. They were our promo guys.
Yeah.
It really put us out there.
Well, that's one of the interesting things when you watch the documentary and you look at it. There's a guy in there talking about the two bands and how actually it wasn't really a competition. You almost made each other better by listening to each other's music.
There was a rivalry, but it was a mutual admiration.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to see him in Portland one time, and John Lennon's voice was out, and he says, "Oh, my voice is out, and when we get to this part, shake your heads, the girls will scream." No, we don't care. And we talked about girls and cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, because Harrison was into cars.
Yeah.
There is also a lovely bit in the documentary, and it's right at the very end when you all get back together.
And you know the beach. You know the beach.
Yes.
They do a great breakfast there.
I don't know if you knew Paradise Cove was the site of our original album cover in 1962.
Yeah. So it was so lovely to get you all back there.
Yeah, it was great.
With all the stories that had been talked about. What was that moment like?
It was sweet. Brian was remembering things from our high school days that I had forgotten.
Really?
He reminded me of. And then we sang a little bit of a cappella, Their Hearts Were Full of Spring. We sang some Fun. We sang some Barbara Ann. That was, and it was just very sweet. That was a true, it showed the true love between us.
Yeah.
How is he doing? Because we know that there's been some news recently. He's not been well.
Well,
I mean, how's that all going?
Well, he needs special care, and we hope that, his family and he have made the decision to do a medical thing. Well, look, I don't want to get into that too much, except to say that we wish him the best for he and his family, and we'll all see each other at the, when I can't talk about where we're going to see each other. But
you nearly let something slip then.
Yes, I did, but damn it.
It's an exclusive. Get the thumb screws out.
Behave.
No, we're going to see each other soon, okay?
Is there going to be a gig? Is there going to be a performance?
We can't talk about it.
That sounds definitely like there's going to be a gig and a performance.
Do I need to book a table at the Paradise Cave? What needs to happen?
No, we're just so thrilled that we're all celebrating so many years. 6 decades?
Yes, 6 years. We've had a few questions from our viewers. Scott says, what is your favourite Beach Boys song to sing?
For me, California Girls. I love it. It was the first song I ever recorded with the band. I just love his song.
Still got so much vibe. What about you, man?
And I wrote the words in the...
Watching him write the words, well, come on, Mike, it's California Girls, write some words.
Yeah.
In the hallway.
Brian was doing the track, and I did the lyrics and sang the lead. And then Bruce came in and wish they all could be California. Anyway.
Do you have a favourite?
Yeah, I have about a lot of favourites.
Does it change?
Well, let's see. Not only California Girls, but Good Vibrations, I Get Around, Fun, Help Me Rhonda, Barbara Ann.
You're going to list them all.
Do It Again.
7.
Well, Estella.
Kokomo. Kokomo is one of the biggest sing-alongs in our show.
Love Kokomo.
So good.
Estella says, I was 18 when I saw the Beach Boys at Wembley Arena on the 6th of June in 1980. It was definitely fun. And it has been to meet you both today.
Lovely.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you on the way to the airport.
Thank you for having me.
The documentary is really fascinating.
Yes, it's out May 24th, Disney+. You can stream it then. And we wish you guys well and safe travels back to the airport.
Thank you, Frank Marshall, for being putting it together. And
thank you.
And the team.
And thank you, Genesis, for doing a lovely book.
Yeah, we have a book. We have a book.
And when's the gig when you're all getting back together? When was that?
I didn't hear that. What?
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, now after 6 years, 110 races, entries and 15 podiums on Sunday, Lando Norris finally became a Formula One Grand Prix winner after speeding to victory in Miami. Take a look.
And after celebrating his incredible win, Lando is joining us in the studio. Lando!
Congratulations!
We are so proud.
Thank you so much.
Our adopted son, he's finally won.
Does he know? We just keep saying it.
No, you keep saying I know.
I'm going, what?
Do you know what? It's a long time coming, isn't it? It's a long time coming. What was that feeling like on the track? And did you expect that sort of reaction?
What's the feeling like? It's hard to describe because it's like, I don't know how you want to compare it to anything else that you do in life. You know, the amount of people there cheering you on, all the team. And it's a lot of hard work, you know. It's six years of Formula One to take my first win. But when I think of it, it's 17 years of racing to kind of achieve that one thing. So it was incredible, a lot of relief. But really just happy for the team.
People that follow Formula One know who you are. But for people that are watching this that just found out about you late last week when you won, so tell us a little bit about your story and where you started from. Because you've been with McLaren since basically year dot.
Yes. Well, everything started way back here when I was 6 years old. My dad loved racing. He couldn't do it. But when I was growing up and when my brother was growing up, we could both do it.
Yeah.
So he kind of could share his passion with both of us.
Look at Papa Nando.
Yeah, it's only a few years ago. That's 2013, and I guess I slowly made my way up the ladder and had good success. But then Formula One is just another level. It's the top of motorsport. And 6 years, I've been with McLaren. This is my 6th season now.
And you've done kind of every job going at McLaren.
Yeah, I did some work experience back in the day, so I got my hands dirty. But now I just stick to driving and stick to turning the wheel and stuff. And it's finally all paid off.
But it must be so lovely for you to be with the team that you've grown up with.
Yes.
And, you know, these guys have seen you come from basically like a young adult to the man you are
today. I was a kid.
We just look at those pictures now. These are people that have been through that journey with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
they have. Yeah, I mean, that's 6 years. So I think it makes it definitely a lot sweeter that I've been with the same team. It's not like I've just jumped in and they're a team that won straight away, you know. We were struggling a lot the last few years. We've had a lot of ups and downs. We've had some great moments, some bad ones. 1 year ago in Miami, we didn't even make it into the second part of qualifying. So we were that bad. But there's been a lot of changes and a lot of hard work, and to go from where we were then last year to now standing on the top step.
I mean, but when we talk about this race that you actually won, it didn't start off the best. I mean, you was in fifth, then you went to sixth. So, I mean, it was a tough race, wasn't it? It was. I had to avoid a little incident in turn one. I got taken out the day before in turn one, so I just needed to make it through turn one cleanly. But the speed all weekend was very strong, so I just needed to make sure I got through and could go from there. And we were the quickest pretty much the whole race. So it was great. I had to make my way up. We tried some things with strategy. And I'm always one to be honest. Like, I was a bit lucky. We went so long in the first stint that I got the safety car. The safety car allowed me to get a few cars in the pit stops and come out in the lead. So sometimes that's on your side, sometimes it's not. And that helped us out. But even after that, the speed was so good, I could pull away and cruise. And it was
your friends must be so proud as well. Like, you know, it must be kind of surreal to be with these people you've sort of brought up with and grown up with. But I guess that kind of coming home when you can come home keeps you rooted and grounded. 100%. I mean, a lot of the friends that I grew up with are not honestly the friends I have now in Formula One. And the people you drive against in Formula One, they're from all around the world. And as much as sometimes you have laughs and things, they're not like your best friends. I guess there's a brotherhood, but at the same time...
It's like you hate each other, but somehow... But there's enough respect.
There's
the respect part is the biggest thing. And there were a lot of drivers which came up to me after and paid their respect in terms of
What did Max
congratulating
say?
me.
What did Max say to you?
Max said many things.
Did he?
Max says many things. But me and Max have a lot of respect for another. Like, I would say we're friends. Like, we get on. He hates when I beat him. I hate when I beat... he hates, or vice versa. I hate when he wins, and he's won plenty. So today, or that day, was my day.
Yeah.
But we could share it, and he's one of the best ever in the sport. So to be racing against him is a cool thing.
Lando, if you imagine now, this is almost like the monkey off your back, in that you've finally won once, and now you can properly focus on building on that, aren't you? You and the team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to change too much. Like, I woke up one day now and I'm a race winner, but in terms of how I approach things, I'm not going to approach things any differently. It's just, I know what that feeling's like, and I've not had that feeling for a very, very long time. So we're on a good roll. The team, myself, we're in a good position. Things are improving, and we still need to improve more before we can do this every weekend. It's definitely not going to be a one-off, but it's not something we can achieve every weekend. So,
can I ask, how do you know? Sometimes, you know, I sort of follow Formula One, and I follow it more when I feel it's competitive. You know, if I know that the race is going to be sometimes Max is just going to win, I kind of zone out a little bit. But do you know sometimes certain tracks suit different cars? Like, has it right?
Yeah.
So when you know you're quickest this week, you might not be quickest next week because there's more turns?
Potentially. So every team designs their car from a piece of paper. So you have every different interpretation of front wing, rear wing. Everything looks a bit different and performs differently. So you might have one car that's better in the straights, as basic as it gets, one car that's better in the straights, one that's better in the corners. One that's better in hot conditions, one that's better in cold. So you have all these different variables. And here on this weekend, we had quite a big upgrade. So we made the car quicker, and it all clicked and everything kind of paid off. But some weekends, the car will feel great and you're confident you can push. The next weekend is maybe a bit too twisty for you and it's not quite so good, but that's the way of sport.
Well, listen.
I was happy that you thanked your mum and dad. That's what I like. The fact that you thank your mum and dad, and you always talk about the fact that it's all about the team, really.
Thanks, Lando, for joining us. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
It's been great having you, mate. Take care.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, listen, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Delighted that Colson's here now.
Yeah, we're chatting to him already. We're already like...
Well, you're just saying that even watching that from 2017, even trying to remember back... I mean, the storyline was a big storyline, but those scenes and those moments, it's hard to sort of recall some of it.
Yeah, like, I won't have seen that for years and years, and then seeing it back, it's like, oh, yeah, that happened, then that happened, and then you remember the days filming it and you remember the story playing out, but... Seems so long ago. I'm really getting old.
We're all getting old, that's the thing. But how is your character going to respond to Nathan being back on the straight?
Yeah, I think Craig...
PC Craig Tinker.
PC Tinker, Tinks. I think he's instantly alarmed at the fact that Nathan's back.
Yeah.
Because he obviously has the history. He knows what he was like with Bethany, and he doesn't want a repeat of this. And whilst the current case is going on with Lauren missing, Nathan reappears and Craig's brain is going, this is dodgy.
Right.
It's always going to be dodgy as well when he's back, because he was such a sort of insidious character as well, wasn't he?
He was one of those baddies that was truly, like, bad to the bone and bad inside. Like, everything he did was just evil. Yeah. So I think Craig instantly wants to get this investigated to work out if Nathan is the reason that Laura's missing, because Craig knows that Roy's got nothing to do with it, sort of thing.
So do you think Nathan is linked to the Roy Cropper story?
I think that's what Craig wants to investigate, you know, and obviously Bethany's kind of going to Craig for this information, and Craig's job is to go, I can't tell you anything, I couldn't possibly, and then he tells her absolutely everything.
So to be fair, you're being much more guarded than Tinker is himself.
Yeah, really, yeah.
It's fascinating, that, isn't it, watching that character play out, because he's got to do his job properly, but he also wants to be everyone's friend. He wants everybody to feel like they're sort of, they're his mate.
Yeah, I'd say Craig Tinker is everyone's friend in high power. So he they come to him for the information. He goes, I couldn't possibly tell you. And then he just tells them what they need to know.
Yeah, because he seems to be revelling in this kind of power that he's got at the moment. He's quite enjoying the level of gossip and, like, having everybody come to him.
Yeah, because he isn't the best copper. But the one thing he gets from being a copper is he gets to know little bits that he's not meant to... Well, that he is meant to know that other people aren't.
Yeah.
So he kind of just goes and just tells them little bits to help them on their way. And he just lets everyone off, doesn't he? If someone gets done on the street, if Craig knocks on the door, they're like, well, I know I'm not in trouble.
I'll be fine now.
I'm getting away with this. It's only Craig.
Come on, Tink, sort me out. We'll be fine. We're looking at that footage from when Nathan was back on the street in 2017, which was 7 years ago. And then you go back another 5 years before that, was where sort of how old you were when you started. You were 12 years old, Colson. You weren't supposed to still be there.
No, 2 episodes. That's all I went for. 2 episodes, non-speaking. And I remember getting the job and I was like, mint, 2 days off school. Here we go. And I went and I did the 2 episodes. And then about 6 months later, my agent at the time got a phone call and they said, look, they're thinking about writing the family in. Is he up for it? And obviously I was like, yeah. So then 2 episodes turned to 6 months and now it's turned to 13 years, which is very, very crazy. Half my life.
Look at you there. Look at that.
Look at what weenie.
Look at the barnet.
Look at the hair, yeah. I wish I had hair like that now.
But do you ever have those pinch me moments where you're like, oh my goodness, I'm getting the chance to go to work with a collection of people that I really have fun with and I do a job I really love?
Yeah, every single day for me. Like, I love Coronation Street. I'm so proud to work there. Every time I walk on that street, I kind of champion the show. So to be a part of it is just an honour, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm proud of everyone that works there in all the departments and all the crews. So, yeah, I feel completely lucky.
What was it like then, Colson, when you step away from that world that you know, the professional world that you know and you love and you feel safe, and you go into a world like Big Brother? Because that was quite a sort of experience for us to sit and watch. What was it like for you in there?
Yeah, it was weird, because obviously Corrie has been my safety. That has been my life for 13 years, and to step away from it and do something else, and to not be Craig Tinker, to be Colson Smith, it's like so different, so exposing, and quite an unnatural feeling. But no, I loved it. I loved being myself. I loved being away. And obviously, as soon as I got back to work, I completely felt the love from everyone as well.
Straight back in as well. You didn't give yourself much time to decompress.
Like 48 hours or something?
I was out the house. So I came Thursday night. So I was out the house about 10 o'clock on the Friday. I was back in work at 7 a.m. on the Monday. There's lots of crime. I've got to be honest.
Someone's got to say
it. 3 weeks of running riot without me, they did.
It's an amazing thing to watch, though, because we interviewed Vanessa and we had Louis on afterwards, and there's definitely a sense of sort of decompression needed having come out of the house, because everything is so heightened in there.
Yeah, so heightened.
Have you watched any of it?
I haven't watched any of it. The only thing I've done is Jack and Ben, who I host my podcast with, they did episodes every single night, and I listened to them because I was like, I have my memories of Big Brother. I don't want to watch it because watching it will show the show in a different way, because I lived it, and I don't want to watch it because I've lived it, because everything's different, and I'll see things that I didn't know happened. Whereas listening to Jack and Ben talking about it, that's my mates talking about me in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, the podcast was kind of my way of watching it back.
And you're going on tour with Jack and Ben now.
Yes.
You're doing On the Sofa, your podcast on tour, live.
Yes, we were in Manchester on Saturday night,
How is it?
It was mint. We had a sold-out crowd. And Manchester's, it's the home venue, isn't it? So it's spot on. You know, and the venue we did was bring your own booze. And literally, the minute we got on stage, all we could hear was just tin cans opening constantly. And we were, it was mint. It was a great night. We're doing London on the 18th of May. And it's just so much fun because we're just three mates, and obviously we all became mates because of Corrie.
Yeah.
And is it? I mean, everyone's not listened to On the Sofa. Is it Corrie centric? Is it? Your experience online? What is it?
It started off. It started off an
right?
education around films.
Yeah.
So basically, as an actor, I hadn't watched enough films, and they said you need to go and watch more films. And I went, well, if I watch the films you want to watch, you watch the films I want to watch. So that was how the playoff started. And now we talk about film and TV, but we also talk about what's been going on in our weeks, what we've been doing.
It's life.
Yeah, so on Saturday night we talked about The Truman Show and me and Big Brother. It was kind of a nice
parallel.
Yeah.
And in London, I think we're doing Notting Hill, because obviously iconic London film.
Yeah.
Colson, thank you so much for popping in.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy the tour. What fun, again, getting to hang out with your mates.
With your
and
mates,
talk
calling it work.
I mean, it's
Great, innit?
Get Tinks on the case as well with Nathan. We've got to control that situation.
Tinks will get Roy out, I'm sure.
You've got to get Roy out for it. Love you, Steve.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning. Magic trick.
I am. I'm going to do a magic trick for you. I've never done this trick on the TV before, so you tell me whenever you want to see it.
Have you not? Third book, Max Magic.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Magic Mike.
I'm sure.
It's a very different story.
Yes.
But I was reading this with James last night. We started it last night, and he loves it. I just love right from the very beginning, you turn around and go, dream as big as you like, you can make them come true.
Yeah.
What happens in this book?
So, for those that don't know, right, I've got this, as you said, my third book.
Yeah.
And Max is me growing up.
Okay.
And on paper, I was only saying this earlier to a friend, that on paper you go, I shouldn't really be hosting Saturday night primetime TV because I've come from a market trading background and I had no sort of formal training. I didn't go to drama school. My training was at Butlins as a redcoat. So I started out as a magician. And what magic did for me was it just gave me a lot of confidence. So at the start of every book, I put a message about, in book number 1, never give up.
Yes.
And in book 3, it's, as you say, anything is possible. If you really want it, you can achieve it. So the book gives confidence and also self-belief. And also it's a bit of escapism with Max and his magic.
Yeah.
But for me, it was for real life, because at school, magic helped me a lot.
What I also like about it, and it's a bit like what David Walliams did in Gangster Granny as well, you kind of do deal with loss a little bit too.
Yeah.
It's not all sugar-coated. It's actually... And it's a great way to start a conversation with a little one. Agreed.
And it's funny you say this, because when I was talking to the publishers, at the end, it gets sad towards the end, but there's a real good lesson to it, because it's the one thing we all need to deal with in life. It's harder possibly sometimes when you're younger, but I think you learn from Max that if you've got friendship and you've got family and you've got your inner self-confidence and self-belief, that actually even the worst scenarios you can overcome. And also at the back of the book, there's a QR code where I teach you loads of different tricks on video. So you scan it, do the tricks, then show you how you can do them too, so you can get your own inner confidence.
And you've got a trick on the table in front of us there. Because there is nothing better than being with Stephen and you're at a party or anything, because you can just go, Stephen, give us a skip, give us a skip.
He did one on me at Takeaway, and it was literally about dog food, and he somehow had something inside a sealed bag of dog. I don't know how you do it still.
Well, do you know what? You're going to love this. This, by the way, is my prediction. You can see this here. No one's going to go near that. No one's going to touch it. It's there. And this is a live show, so we can't mess about. First of all, Ben, if you don't mind, just shout stop. You can still got 2 packs of cards. Cut them in half from a red pack and a blue pack. Just shout stop whenever you're ready.
Stop.
OK, we're going to mark where you've stopped. Just there, perfect. And, Kat, if you don't mind, I'm going to flick through these. And if you wouldn't mind shouting stop as well.
OK, stop.
OK, and let's see where you've stopped. There we go. Don't worry, it's all good. Right, so good stuff. OK, so we've got your card here from the blue pack just there, and we've got, let's see where Ben stopped, just there. And hopefully, if this has worked, fingers crossed, they should match.
They should match the prediction that you've made.
The prediction that's been there from the start.
So this was your... This is why you think that Kat and I are...
the perfect match.
Because we're going to find randomly through the magic...
perfect match.
Through Stephen Mulhern's touch.
Let's have a look. Bingo. Oh, no.
You've not done this before, have you?
That prediction was there from the start, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you are the perfect match. Oh, come on! Oh, come on! Oh, come on, you may touch me. Oh, my Lord! But it gets better. Look, your card... Don't you worry, look, your card was from this pile, and it's the only red card in the blue pile. And look, Ben, your card was from this pile, and that's the only card you could have picked, because they're all blank. What? What? Burn him! And the applause doesn't stop. Thank you, guys.
Stephen Mulhern.
Good cricket.
Because I thought it had all gone wrong.
Yeah.
But no, never give up.
Was that supposed to happen, that bit?
Yes, of course it was. That old little chestnut. But there you go. Look, the reaction it gets. And this
it's
is why...
amazing.
It's all amazing.
I think
amazing. I tell you what's amazing as well, Deal or No Deal, doing brilliantly.
Wow. Can I just have a moment about the fact that your dad created the format before it even became a format? Right. He would be a billionaire by now if he'd actually...
This is the weirdest thing. So my dad, right, he would play, he calls it boxes. There he is, right?
He played boxes?
At Christmas, I've got 2 brothers and a sister, and my mum and dad will all sit round, and you pick a box, and either in the box it'll be a scratched-out scratch card, which is a loser, or a sweet, or a £5 note, and the jackpot is £50. It'll be a £50 note in one of the boxes. So you pick one, and you open it up, next one, and it goes down to the wires sometimes, like on Deal or No Deal. So he did that before Deal or No Deal, and no one even existed.
Unbelievable.
Is he on a percentage now? He knows the presenter?
Well, do you know what? The reality, they love watching it.
I bet they do. You must love hosting it as well. Hard work, but brilliant.
It's a dream because you've got 22 people that I just talk to and we just chat, find out a bit about them. I love it. It's a dream show. I feel so lucky with the shows that I get to host.
Yeah.
And it's just, ITV been very, very good.
And you still don't know who the banker is?
No. Well, that was it. They said to me, right...
I thought you were going to know.
No, because they said, do you want to know? But the problem is for me is that I want to be on the player side at all times. So if you were the banker, for example, Ben, or Kat, and we knew each other, which we do, I could easily go, oh, come on, give him a break.
You might try and persuade us.
Whereas he's so hard. And he's just, you know, even at the worst times, he'll say to someone, just tell him it's not a pissy party, and put the phone down. Yeah.
Brutal.
Isn't
we
it?
love it. Stephen, good luck with the book.
Thank you so much.
It's amazing.
Brilliant.
Maths
Out
Magic,
Thursday.
the third one, out on Thursday. You're going to love it.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
And he joins us now. And this was the studio that you filmed Summer Faulty in, right?
And I think Monty Python. I think we were in the same studio.
In this?
Years ago, 1969, and 42 started 75.
And the Builders.
The Builders
it was the greatest studio complex I've ever been in, and then the BBC sold it.
Yeah.
So you feel right at home here
Yes,
today?
I do. It's wonderful to think I'm back here after over 50 years or whatever it is.
And we're still talking about 40 Towers 50 years on.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever think those 12 episodes would be so iconic?
No. When I left Monty Python, because I felt we were beginning to repeat ourselves, and also my dear friend Graham Chapman was an alcoholic, which didn't help, I just wanted to do something with my wife, Connie Booth. And we went and had, in those days, the way the BBC worked was I went and had lunch with Jimmy Gilbert, who directed me when I was doing the Frost Report with the 2 Ronnies.
Yeah.
And he said, what would you like to do now you left Python? And I said, I don't know. I'd like to do something with my wife. And he said, oh, fine, well, why don't you call me and tell me what you want to do and I'll commission it.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. Now it would go to a committee that would then decide whether it should go on to another committee. And somebody once said a camel is a horse designed by a committee. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You never
Those
get
were the
a great
days.
thing.
But, John, when you did... Because it's such an iconic show for 12 episodes. I know you must have been asked this before. But did you just feel that after the second series, you'd done enough?
Well, we first felt, Connie and I had the same feeling. We felt that we could do another series and everyone would say, it's very funny, but it's not as good as the first 2 series. And then the only reason to do it then is money.
Yeah.
And in those days, I had some.
You were OK.
Yes.
So now the decision has been made to bring Faulty Towers to the West End.
That's right.
And obviously you've got to cast it. How do you feel about someone else playing Basil?
I don't mind at all, because I think of myself as a writer. If you want to understand Monty Python, nobody gets this. We were all writers who happened to perform. So when you write something, you're not immediately thinking, oh, I'm going to be doing that. You're writing a character. I mean, in Fish Called Wanda, when I wrote the scene, I was hanging upside down. Halfway through, I suddenly thought, I'm going to have to play that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm writing for anyone.
But you're not thinking about the fact that you're going to do it.
It's lovely to see how lots of different people playing Basil. I think William Shakespeare would agree, because there's been quite a lot of Hamlets, you know? And Hamlet's only 4 hours.
Yeah.
Basil did 6.
Yeah. So when you are picking Basil, like, did you go through, like, did a lot of people audition, or did you know quite quickly? Well, C.J. Ranger, who's co-directing it with me and doing all the heavy lifting, she did, for example, Fools and Horses. Mm-hmm. She directed that, which ran for 5 years. She knows what she's doing. So she saw an awful lot of people and narrowed it into a smaller lot. And then I was away most of the time, so I was doing it via Zoom. And we just had these people in to audition. And the extraordinary thing was how good they were.
Yeah.
We could have filled almost any one of those roles 2, 3, 4 times.
Really?
Well, there's a lot of great actors around.
I was on the tube the other day and I went past a poster and I saw that Paul Nicholas is playing the Major as well, which is such great.
Oh, he's
amazing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And he's playing it differently.
Is he?
From Ballad Berkeley. I love Ballad.
Yeah.
But you see, almost everyone from that show is dead.
Yeah.
You know? I show clips sometimes and I look at it and gone, and Bernie Cribbins.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, Joan Sanderson.
Bernard Cribbins is one of your favourite cameo, well, not cameo, but like you had these great character actors.
Yes,
for one
exactly.
episode.
Well, I loved Joan Sanderson doing Mrs. Richards, but I've got to say, I thought Bernie Cribbins was absolutely wonderful. I would give him the award, you know, the Basil.
It was such a lovely episode, that, isn't it? Because he just gets put upon and put upon.
You see, the thing is,
the briefcase moment at the end.
People say, why is it so funny? It's because Connie and I used to take 6 weeks to write an episode. Nobody takes 6 weeks. Most people take a week.
Really?
So if you take 6 weeks, and sometimes we'd start an episode and then not know where it was going to go, so we go and do another episode and then come back to it later. And if you've got 6 weeks per episode, during that time, you're going to have a lot of funny ideas, not just 1 or 2.
That's
incredible. And we always wrote got the plot worked out before we ever wrote a line of dialogue. As most people have seen one and starts writing the dialogue. You want to know where you're going and what's the ending going to be like.
Which episode are you most proud of, John?
I think Basil the Rat. I think there's a moment when the food inspector looks at the box of biscuits and there's a rat. And Basil says, desperately covering up, would you like a rat? And then a few moments later, he's dragged out when we're on the floor. I love that moment.
And John, the stage show is based around 3 of your favourite episodes.
Yeah,
the German.
Mrs. Richards' episode.
Yeah.
And Bernie's episode.
Yeah.
Bernie did the Hotel Inspector.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we had to have the Germans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So how hard was it to sort of amalgamate all those 3 into one script?
I don't remember, because we did it a long time ago.
Yeah.
We did it in 2015.
OK.
And then that next year, it was done in Australia, and it was very, very good. I went out twice. I went out for the casting, and then I went out because what I'm good at is coming in at the last moment when CJ's done all the hard work and saying things like, don't do that in that order. Do that first, then that, and then that. And then they do it, and the audience in the rehearsal room will laugh. It's very rewarding. I'll just say, don't look at him when you say that.
So you can just see
when
what
they
those...
stand a little closer together. And
Isn't that lovely that you've got those moments, you can see those beats and those moments of comedy? What's it like writing with your daughter? That must be lovely.
Oh, it's adorable.
Oh.
The nice thing about her is she's got a blacker sense of humour than I've got.
Has she?
Oh, yes. She does a wonderful stuff about women's rights. She said, I believe in a woman's right to stay at home and not work.
The whole thing is, it's just, like you said, it's all context. Like we talked with Jimmy about it, and the whole thing with you as a comedy is context.
Somebody said to me the other day that people with a good sense of humour understand a change in context. And what I said the other day, which has been in the papers a lot, is that people who are literal-minded find it very difficult to see different contexts. So if you're in the Midwest of America, where they're very literal-minded, I mean, they believe every word in the Bible has to be taken literally, despite the fact that Jesus Christ taught in parables.
It's a
right?
terrible time
Were
we've got to finish
parables
this
supposed to be taken literally?
No.
You see what I mean? And if you have that cast of mind, they can only see one meaning and they can't see that there's different contexts. Like, look, if you're having a funeral, you will think of an absolutely disgraceful joke, but you won't shout it out to the...
John, you've got to leave it there.
We've got to cut you off. I can't believe this.
40,000 play at London's Apollo for Wednesday.
The other thing...
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, listen, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning. Clever. That is so clever. Jimmy Carr joins us now.
Hey,
Good
Jimmy.
to see you on the sofa.
Can't believe my luck on a Friday. Yeah.
I know.
Nice.
It's the best day to come. It's best day.
Especially if you like your chicken 3 ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's eaten.
That last way was
What more does he want?
though, wasn't it? that belonged in the
Nothing
bin.
wrong with that soup.
No,
Come
it's
on.
nice.
Take
it's
the
nice.
carcass and melt it down.
Natural Born Killer. Doesn't sound
yeah.
very nice.
Natural Born Killer. It's good title. The Netflix special. Yeah, it's done well. It's done all right.
Why is it called that? Why did you call it that?
Well, I'm a killer.
Don't say things like that, because it makes me think,
But that's
oh,
the
you really
language
want...
of comedy, isn't it? People either die on stage or
kill
they
it on
kill.
stage, yeah,
It's very
okay,
kind of combative
yeah.
language.
Natural Born Killer, lovely. Tell us
Do you
about
like-
the show.
yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's just jokes. If you like that kind of thing, you'll like it. It's pretty funny. I'm getting a little bit better. I think as the years go on, it's nice to see a bit of a progression. You can see the early stuff and then now, and I'm kind of trying to do... I've got a really good fastball. I'm really good with one-liners, and I'm trying to do slightly longer bits now. It's really fun. It's fun to kind of grow.
Do you like filming the specials? Is it fun when you know that that night you're going to get the cameras in and... Because you're directing this one.
Yeah, you're kind of... Well, I directed it with my mate Brian Klein, and my friend Amanda Baker sort of directed the live show with me. So, like, there's always, like, it's one person on stage, and you get all the praise and all the money. But there's always a lot of people involved.
Yeah.
There's always lots of people kind of backstage making it happen. But, yeah, I kind of directed it a bit this time because I wanted it to... I wanted the rhythm of the show to kind of cut with the jokes. I wanted it to kind of make sense.
Did the director, Jimmy Carr, ever have a problem with the comedian, Jimmy Carr?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Yeah, yeah.
And what did he say? What sort of thing?
I have to retake stuff. Well, we had to get... Because there's quite a lot of kind of shots where, like, there's a Steadicam shot, so the camera just kind of goes around you and pans, and it looks fantastic. But it means you've got to retake that joke at the end of the show, and the audience are kind of in on it. But the Steadicam guy was a guy from Strictly. He was amazing. But he's got to kind of walk round you. And I just kept on kind of making eye contact with him. Like halfway going, right, OK, we've got to start that again.
Really?
Don't look at it.
Such a lack of professionalism.
Oh, man. Do you do the thing that so many comedians do where... Because you're obviously the king of the arenas now and, you know, you sell out tours, but do you go back to the small theatres and just to road test the material?
Well, I play all... I mean, basically, I do all sort of smallish theatres on the tour. I do, like, 2 shows a night.
Yeah.
I do a 7 and a 9:30.
But you know there's really super small ones with just a notepad and stuff. Do you still do that anymore?
I test new stuff at the end of every show.
Oh, do you?
So the end of every show, I've got, like, a bit of paper with the new gags.
Yeah.
And then I just go, right, we'll try these and see what works.
And I guess by then people are on side, so they kind of...
Yeah, and it's like, it's a good test, because you've done your best stuff, and then you go, well, is this going to work? Does this fit in?
Yeah.
So
Would
it's
you
like
tell the
trying new
audience?
stuff all the time.
Would you tell the audience?
They notice I've got a bit of paper out, because I'm not learning them until I know they're funny.
OK.
That would be a waste of everyone's time.
Oh, my God, that's so amazing. Obviously, you're going to UK, Ireland, Europe. Do you have to change your material for the different places?
You really don't.
No, you keep it the
really
same?
Don't. It's a kind of an amazing thing with Netflix. It's kind of global now, so it's like, I don't know, I think it was in the top 10 in, like, 28 countries. So it's everywhere. I play 45 countries on the tour.
Wow.
So it's everywhere. And it feels like comedy's kind of bigger than ever. People, as things get more kind of, sort of, I don't know, blinkered on TV, like there's not as much stuff on TV. Live, people want to go out and they want to kind of have that sense of sort of a safe space where you can sort of say anything and just relax, take an hour off from life. People need it.
Do you feel like you can sense that people are sick of this cancel culture vibe when they come to your concerts? And
I don't even think it's a real thing. I mean, I've been cancelled many times. I'm on this morning.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not a real thing. It's like, and there's a big difference between criticism. Some people legitimately think I'm rubbish. And some people just kind of go, well, he must be banned. We can't have him playing theatres anymore. That's a different thing.
Do you remember the first time that happened? Like
First time we got cancelled?
The first time someone said to you, you can't say that kind of thing. And did you then go, did you ever take a beat and go, let's talk about it? Or did you go, no, I've got to double down because the joke is everything and it means...
It's not... it wasn't doubling down. It's not like being kind of macho about it.
Yeah, I don't mean
but,
like
but it's that thing of, like, going... The audience tell me what's funny.
Yeah.
I've got my audience, and sometimes when a joke escapes the lab and it goes on Netflix or something, and other people see it, or a clip goes on Instagram, people go, "Oh, that's disgraceful," and you go, "Yeah, it's not for you.
In its isolation.
There's other stuff." You know, there's comedy for everyone. There's so many different types of comedy out there. It's become like a real cultural thing.
Yeah.
Like, used to be people went to the pub or they went to music, and now people go out to comedy shows. There's something great in your town this evening. There's, you know, the clubs and the arenas and the theatres. There's loads of great comedy, but not everyone's for everyone. You find your audience.
Well, we've got John Cleese coming on in a bit.
I mean,
John says something great. Exactly, and he said the thing is, it's all about context. And you know, I know you. You're a lovely guy. We're friends. You're ish. Yeah, all right. We know each other. I like you.
But no, carried away.
But like, I know you're not prejudiced, and I know you're a lovely man, right? And you love people, but people would watch some of your comedy, and they'll say, "Well, you can't say that." When you go, "Well, it's in context." But I guess my question to you is, so if a genuinely racist comedian comes on and says something great, can they not own that context? Because you own your own context.
But then there's that thing of like, you go, well, the context is like, what is it a joke or is it a statement? Is it something that someone said or is it a joke? Can you understand what the joke's about? And talking about those things that no one's talking about, that's where comedy lives.
Yeah.
In that gap between public and private discourse. And there's never been a bigger gap on, you know, how people talk on TV and how people talk in the real world.
Yeah.
And so that idea of, like, when you're playing around with that stuff that's dangerous, it's very exciting.
I guess, can people that genuinely mean it hide behind the kind of context argument?
I guess they could, but I mean, I don't really know who. I mean, you need the specific example. I think the context of like it being a comedy show is there's a big difference between going camping and being homeless.
Yeah.
Context is everything.
Yeah.
You know, what's the joke really saying? What's the fun of it?
Yeah.
I'll joke about everything. I'm like an equal opportunities offender.
And you believe this can be taught in schools? You believe that you can teach being a comedian? I mean, you taught yourself, didn't you?
I mean, I'm working on a thing at the moment. That's kind of a bigger project. So it's not just me as well. It's my friend Amanda Baker and Abby Grant. We're working on a book and then a course.
Yeah.
But, you know, Amanda's been working with me for years, and Abby as well, like just kind of trying to put together this thing, like the language of it. Because music's got a language.
Yeah.
Musicians can talk to each other around the world and they've got, like, a common language. So the idea of putting together, like, a common language of stand-up. And partly it's that thing of, like, I'm doing it for me. Because, you know, I know how to do it, but, like, actually sitting down with Amanda and Abby and trying to go, right, how do we codify jokes and how do we sort of talk about performance? How do we talk about what we do that makes sense to people? It's like telling someone a joke and they laugh, but I think there's lots of people would like to try it.
Yeah, I'd like to be funny.
You are funny.
You are funny.
Yeah, but
no one knows why.
Yeah, why is it? What is the reason? What is it?
It's just innate, right?
You've got to tell me.
So how much
there
of it
must
is
be a
learned?
formula.
How much can you teach and how much is innate?
He knows the formula.
I think you could teach an awful lot of it. And I think it's also, it'd be great to teach in schools because what's stand-up about? It's about talking in your authentic voice.
Yeah. Yes.
And the great tragedy of life is a lot of people live and die without ever hearing their own voice.
Sure.
It's much more useful than teaching music, I think. I mean, music's fantastic to learn, right? That non-verbal communication.
Yeah.
But if you learn how to be a comic, you sort of learn how to order your thoughts and who you are as a person, and you get to sort of speak in public. And most jobs involve a little bit of that. Most of life and relationships involves a little bit of that, a little bit of humour. It helps you home life, helps you be a parent, helps you be a friend, helps you at work. It's good for everything.
Yeah.
And they don't all have to be incredibly brutal jokes like mine.
Oh, mate, it's lovely to see you,
So
Jimmy.
interesting.
Yeah, it's great to chat. Natural Born Killer is out on Netflix and tickets available for Jimmy Carr. Last Funny available now as well. Thanks, Jimmy.
Come see the show. I mean, it's slightly disappointing to be on with John Cleese. Don't bring on funnier comedians than me. You want to be the funniest person on the show and then you bring on John Cleese.
We start off with you and then we go to the legend.
You move up. Yeah, I'm the star, he's the main course. I get it.
You're the chicken soup and he's the roast, you know. It's just,
he's the headliner. No, I get it.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you so much.
Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.